Oh, am I in the future? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT, King of America. You know what I'm saying? We doing this review to the Tomorrow War. You feel me? So I'm in the future now, basically the past or whichever way you want to call it. If you watching this video, you in the present with me right now. So make sure you subscribe below, hit that notification bell so you can keep up on all things Slim Jim Longfoot, such as my product reviews, my how-to videos for small YouTubers, my TV and movie reviews like this right here that you watching, my daily vlogs that I do, my live streams, video clips, so much more. And of course, last but not least, my art video series, GOAT 1408 TV. I'm joined over here to my right off camera by the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Grandhustla in the building. Grandhustla 1017 on the PSN network. So make sure y'all go check them out on there and see my gameplay of them on of the Ghost of Tsushima, my gameplay on my channel here.
What's up, peoples?
You know what I'm saying? He up here, he getting his Popeyes on right now. Not the chicken sandwich. Not the chicken sandwich. He getting real chickens. The real chickens from the Popeyes. Shout out to Tyson Chickens. You know, Tyson Chicken, they recall like over 8 million pounds or four. They recall millions of pounds of chicken. That's crazy. Anyway, I know y'all ain't here for no chicken, but yo, we are here for the state of the world as it is, in the sense of you think about all the craziness going on today, and you think about the Tomorrow War and what that movie is. First and foremost, before we go any further, once again, if I didn't say it already, but I'm saying it now, just in case. This is a spoiler review. A spoiler review, which means, my dear friends, which means this, if you have not seen this movie yet, you will get spoiled. We talking about what happened in the movie. We ain't talking about every daggone little detail of the movie to break down second by second. If you wanna go watch somebody that got all the tidbits for you like that, hey, you're welcome to go do that. But here we just get straight gutter with it. You feel me? First and foremost, shout outs to Chris Pratt being in this movie. Shout outs to J.K. Simmons being in this movie. Shout outs to Edwin Hodge for being in this movie. Shout outs to everybody who was, a part of this movie. You know what I'm saying? It was indeed, in my opinion, a cult classic. Like a lot of people, like I myself didn't even know that this movie was coming into existence until over a week ago at this time, because I saw Tomorrow War a week ago today, which was late night, 4th of July, early morning, July the 5th. That's when I saw this movie right here, The Tomorrow War. And so, with that being said, I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything what the movie was about other than Chris Pratt is in it. And, I go back a ways with Chris Pratt, not just from him being Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the MCU movies, and Guardians of the Galaxy and so forth. But I go back, I can't remember the name of the show right now. I'm not even talking about Parks and Recreation Chris Pratt when he was fat on there. I'm talking about when he was a little blonde pretty boy on this show that used to come on CW with Treat Williams. If anybody remember Treat Williams, big star of the 80s or whatnot, pretty big star of the 80s and early 2000s because of the show they're gonna talk about. I think it was Everwood. I think the name of it was Everwood, if I'm not mistaken. He played basically like he started off kind of like being kind of like a bully on the show or whatnot. But if you ever see, let's see, I'm trying to see if it was Everwood. I believe it was Everwood. I'm very sure it was Everwood. Yes, indeed. Yep, Everwood. Yep, Everwood. Like I go back that far with Chris Pratt, and it's funny because I didn't know that was him back then. Because obviously, they weren't superstars back then, and I knew Chris Pratt when I saw him on Parks and Recreation. I was like, oh, he's that dopey, chubby guy. He's the dopey, chubby guy on there that's kind of, not all the way there, that guy. And then when I, looked at his background, when he got ready to play Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy, got buff and fit for the role. And then I looked back and I'm like, wait, he was the chiseled little blonde teenager. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, like when you saw that guy from Everwood, you would have never imagined that he would have went from that to what he was on Parks and Recreation. You could see if he went from that to what he was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but from that to Parks and Recreation was two different creatures. As a matter of fact, Grandhustla, I'm quite sure you probably never watched Everwood, did you? Okay, so I'm gonna show you Chris Pratt when he was on Everwood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever see Chris Pratt from Parks and Recreation?
I did see him in it.
Okay, so you remember how he looked on that? He was, really chubby, and he he was all chubby and everything,
Yeah.
right? All right. So this was Chris Pratt on the Everwood days.
Okay, I remember seeing like a commercial.
Yeah, you remember seeing the commercial, and
Yeah.
he was the blonde dude on the show. He was the little blonde dude on the show, and so from that guy, I didn't know that was But anyway, we all off subject. We talking about Everwood. Let's get back to the Tomorrow War. See what I'm saying? We going back to yesterday. We supposed to be talking about tomorrow today. Anyway, let's break this down for those. Right, I know, right? See what I'm saying? We be in there, you know what I mean? So, with that being said, like I say, this is a spoiler review, which means you've already seen the movie if you're watching this review. We're just basically talking about how much we liked it. I'm gonna tell you, it's funny because that night I'm trying to think what I was doing that night. If I'm not mistaken, I think I was catching up on Manifest that night. I was probably watching season 2. I was either doing that. I was doing something at that particular time. When Grandhustla, he had started watching the Tomorrow War, and tell him what happened. Like you had cut it off.
I cut it off.
He had cut it off because first and foremost, he don't like alien, buggy type creatures. He don't like them type of creepy looking crawling creatures. You know what I'm saying? Alien or underground or whatever they are. You know what I'm saying? He don't like them no types at all, and so. It was two parts. It was two parts that I think just made him say he got to bag up off the movie for me. He had to take a pause. If tell the world what those two parts was because I know what they was. But what was those two parts that made you just bag up off the movie?
Okay, all right. First of all, the creatures in this movie are so disgusting. Oh my god. You don't see the movie The Quiet Place before, right?
Mm-hmm. The first one, yep.
They made them creatures in this movie make them creatures in The Quiet Place look like Teletubbies. You know what I'm saying? That come on, man.
I'm gonna say they all went hand in hand because when you saw the inner workings of them creatures from The Quiet Place and them. I haven't seen 2 yet. I don't know. Have you seen 2 yet?
I've seen 2.
Oh, you seen 2 already? Okay. You recommend it hard?
It's hard.
Okay, I'm gonna be seeing 2 soon. So okay, so he's seen both of The Quiet Places now. So he's saying that in comparison, those creatures in the Tomorrow War make them look like Teletubbies, and so.
But anyway, the first part of the movie that I paused it on was the scene where they just came out the building and they just got the stuff from the lab, and when they hit the street, and they were running toward the RVs, and the creatures started. They came and ran to the RVs and turned both of them things over like they were paperweights. Man, I had to cut it out right there, man. And they started running to it. I had to cut it out right. I was like, nah, too many of them damn things, man. I couldn't deal with them. And it gross and disgusting, man. I was like, nah.
At that point right there, it pretty much looked like it was no hope. It was like, dang, I mean, they you already got to go against these alien creatures. But the way they just straight went up on them, they debowed them daggone heavy duty vehicles out the way they just it was like the average person like tossing a baby. It was crazy.
Yeah, like pancakes, man. They just flipped them up like pancakes, man.
Yeah, I was like, how are y'all gonna get out of this? Like, first and foremost. Let's talk about the landing. Let's talk about the landing into the future.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? As I tried to, reenact at the beginning of this video. That was crazy. You feel me? Like, it was already bad enough that they got these people that came back from the past telling them, oh, the future is lost. We ain't got no hope for the future. We need y'all from the past to come and help us out in the future. We get to the future. And daggone there, the calculation got thrown off, and folks falling out the sky. They say it's gonna be about maybe like 5-10 foot drop. You know what I'm saying? Practice. Do your superhero pose when you get down. Whatever. You couldn't do nothing in that. They free falling.
See, that what bugged me, cuz. I'm gonna tell you the first part that got me before the creep crawlers and stuff. That bugged me is when they uproot and recruit this dude to come fight the Tomorrow War, and when he got in, they said, look here, you gonna fight this war, you gonna like it, whatever. if you renege, we gonna get the next person who you married to go shoot fight that work for you. Then whatever. I was like, what? I'm like, how y'all just gonna uproot me the government and go the fight y'all what or something I don't even know nothing about? Then you got less than probably 4 hours to train for the thing. Then on top of that, they uproot you and put you in the program. Then the first I think it was the first day in the program. Then you go and fight these creepy crawlers, man.
Right. Like, what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do, Willie? What you gonna do?
Then when they uproot you, then they teleport you. Nigga, you ain't gonna make it though. Shit, half of hit the pavement.
That one ain't half, bro. That was at least about 95, 98% of everybody who went through their portal got killed on entry. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't make it to that daggone building.
So that's why I think they got a calculation from like, well, look at this person gonna teleport, they gonna hit the pavement. This person gonna touch the water, gonna hit the pavement. So these folks gonna land in the pool. Y'all gonna die then teleport.
Right.
Y'all need to fight the war. Y'all died with the gun in your hand.
Right. You know, they died on the way there. It was
on
just like
on the way down.
Like, dang, I mean, that was supposed to be the easy part of the trip.
Miss me with that, man. Look here. I'm telling you, if I was there, if I was Chris Pratt and they talking about, look, you gonna go fight this war, this and that, I'm like, look here, bro. I'm like, look here, bro. I'm not gonna fight this war, man. Y'all might well lock my ass up now, cause I'm not gonna fight this damn war. Well, I probably ain't gonna make it down. Messing with y'all. Right,
that part. Hey, I got this comment from somebody who left a comment the other day on the channel when I asked about should I do a review on the Tomorrow War, which is what we're doing right now. Gwen Stacy, which I'm quite sure named themselves after, of course, the famous character from the Spider-Man series. Gwen Stacy said, talk more about the time travel. Like, it doesn't make sense why the future people would send modern people to die, thus decreasing the population of both timelines without making any significant improvement in the future timeline. As they said, only 30% comes back. And also, why did they only send people that were slated to die before 2050 when only 5,000 out of 7.5 billion, maybe more, was still around by that time period? So basically, everyone is eligible to go since there is no future for most of them. With that being said, Gwen, I'm thinking what the future people's thought process was. They didn't want to, of course, send back, like, they didn't want to, of course, send to the future anybody who may, like obviously, you know, most of them hadn't been born yet, so they probably wanted to decrease the probability of sending back sending their future parents to the future if they had, those that hadn't made them yet or whatnot. So they didn't mind sending, getting the older people. As you notice, like, it was the older people that were going to the future people who was, in their 30s or 40s, because you're talking about people who were already dead by the time that had occurred. But with that being said, it's still a catch-22 on that, because you don't know which, if any of those people may have birthed somebody, that will have been able to, do something in the future. Because, of course, as we know, Chris Pratt's daughter ends up being basically the one who saves the future, with her antidote, with her, with everything that she had been studying up to that point. Up until the point of, her death, and then, him bringing the vial back to them for them to, make as much of it as they could. And that was another thing too. Once Chris Pratt came back, his daughter, had just been killed. He was trying to grab her. I mean, luckily he went back to the past when he did, because other than that, he would have been gone too. I mean, that was kind of heroic for him to jump for, but it was stupid at the same time, because, like, bruh, like, even if you grab her, both of y'all gonna die. I mean, it's a swarm of them down there. It's a wrap, homie. But luckily, he made it back. He had the vial, and but then at that point, it was like, okay, what do we do with the vial? How do we find them? And of course, the weird kid in the class who know all them facts. Shout outs to him. He calculated and figured out how was it possible that they had, in their claws, they had, sediment, from, different regions of the world. And, they, of course, devised the fact that, okay, they didn't come here and land. They've been here for a minute, and they crawled up. They thawed out and crawled up. So you know what I'm saying. So as the years, as you know, ice started, melting, ice caps and everything started melting and thawing away. And it's a trip because it's no telling what else is buried around the world that could possibly, resurface and come back to life. Because I've seen several movies in the future. As a matter of fact, Ring of Fire, if I'm not mistaken, that was the name of it, Ring of Fire, with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh
The
yeah,
dragons.
yeah.
That's what happened in that movie. Like the dragons of old from mythology. Somehow they awakened in the future. It might have been because their slumber was disturbed. They awakened from wherever they were buried or hidden somewhere on Earth, and they awakened and went to crazy town on the world. You know what I'm saying? And you had a modern day warfare going on with dragons, and that was a dope movie. If y'all haven't seen Ring of Fire, that was a dope movie that came
It
out.
wasn't Ring of Fire. It was Rain of Fire.
Ring of Fire, yeah, Ring of Fire, Ring of Fire, REIGN, Ring of Fire. If I'm not mistaken, I think that came out like 03, 04, because I know that was before Batman Begins, because Batman Begins came out 05, and it was after
I
Shaft.
believe it
So
was like 03.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 02. Dang, 02. God dang, next year be 20 years. Dang, man, that's crazy, man. Time is a trip. But yeah, Ring of Fire, that was a dope movie right there. If y'all haven't seen it, definitely check that out. I think that would be a good movie to see somebody react to. I won't react to it because, I've already seen it. I saw it when it first came out. I had it on tape. I don't know if I still have it in my VHS collection, but I had it on tape. But, yeah, Ring of Fire was a dope movie. Let's see. As far as that go, I'm pretty much tapped. Anything else you want to add about the Tomorrow War?
How about goddamn Buster Brown, J.K. Simmons, man?
Oh, definitely gotta talk about that. I mentioned his name earlier, but we ain't talked about how J.K. aka Jack Simmons, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Omni Man was in the movie. The man was on swole in the movie. First of all, he was just swole for no reason, you know what I'm saying. But he was a hard badass as he always is. Of course, not in Spider-Man. I mean, he's iconic as J. Jonah Jameson. But like movies like this, he just proves his extra grit all day. He was like Tenzin meets Omni Man up in this movie. You know what I'm saying? He was in there doing his thing, and and another thing about the movie, it was also on the layer of not just the whole sci-fi situation, but on the layers of saying people feeling like they didn't fulfill their passion, they didn't fulfill some goals that they had in life, because Chris Pratt's character felt like he wasn't able to do all the things that he wanted to do in his life, and therefore started having regrets and all this, that and the third, and saying everything came tumbling down, and his daughter had to go to that extra level to be the great person that she ended up becoming. And they had a chance in the future to bond like never before, and him to see that, wow, like it's not just about what his life is about. It's about making sure that her life is even greater than saying it was, even though she had accomplished so much in the future, but she was living in a world that was crap. You know what I'm saying? They were living on borrowed time. They was living in a world that was being overtaken by aliens, and it wasn't nothing else to look forward to after that. As you see, she died as he was returning back to the past, and so the fact that they was able to find out where the aliens were in daytime, and go ahead and take them out, because they couldn't get back to the future after he came back. Their way to the future was severed, and so that world was basically gone, so to speak, unless unless they did something different, which of course was to take out the threat in their time, and they of course did. Not the queen who who was going to be the big bag, who was laying the eggs, and
She was determined to kill his daughter.
man, right, like like shoot. especially in the future. Like I mean, then when they had caught her, and then like hey, she wanted to make sure she got her. Like hey, they were not no idiot aliens. They were not stupid at all, and it begs to differ. A movie like the Tomorrow War, even though I think it would be a great one and done movie, a great standalone film. It don't need a sequel, but it could warrant a sequel because this world, they have proof that aliens exist. You know what I'm saying? Because these creatures came. They were in a cargo ship. They were not supposed to be open. They crashed. The people who was carrying them crash landing on Earth, and whoever they were, you don't know what species that was. You know what I'm saying? They were some aliens that was carrying these aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like basically like these are the savage creatures. Got getting them where they going or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they crashed here, and then, that's what happened. So that was a trip in itself right there with the Tomorrow War. But I'm definitely giving that movie. I'm gonna give that movie. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. I mean, the effects was great. The story was good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it reminded me of movies from the 90s. You dig? So that's how I felt about it. So, tell me what you thought about the Tomorrow War below. You know what I'm saying? We could comment more in the comments. Keep it going in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Those who was here for the live check of this, I appreciate you if you was here for the live check of this. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the movie. Meantime, between times, your man gone. Stay blessed up. Keep on doing what you're doing. Until the next time, all right?
All right, peoples.
One love.
Tell them don't waste my time. Tell them don't waste my time. Oh yeah. Tell them don't waste my time.